Hey everyone, this is Mark Hall with Cycle Fever TV. I've rode my motorcycle up and down the east coast of the United States for the last 25 years. I have rode as many miles as I could and have shot as much video as possible. Thanks to the people at Cycle Fever TV, I'm going to bring you some of my favorite rides. Today we're going to take a trip out of Daytona Beach, Florida, heading into Lumpkin, Georgia. This ride took me about 6.5 hours. It was 375 miles and I stopped and ate lunch on the way. So this is it, man. This is Providence Canyon State Park. It's in Georgia, Lumpkin, Georgia. Not many people know about this place. It's considered one of Georgia's 7 natural wonders, and it's called the Little Grand Canyon of Georgia. But when I got here, I found out this place was really caused by bad farming in the 19th century. The deepest canyon here is about 150 foot deep. The first known recording history of this thing was in a deed signed in 1836 by James Lunsford to a Mr. William Tatum. Before 1836, there was just a couple of trappers and a few Indians here, a lot of Indians. But in 1825, they signed a treaty with the Indians and made it possible for the settlers to start coming in. There's 47 colors of clay in this canyon, and if you go to the gift shop, they've got them in little boxes, and you can take some of the clay out. They give you bottles. You can put it in the bottle and make a nice little art thing to take home with you. It's pretty cool. Give you a good remember, and you can actually see how much of a difference the colors is. All right, we're going to take a walk down to the bottom of these canyons, which to me was one of the neatest things when I got here. So there's 3 miles of canyon trails, 7 miles of backcountry trails, and there's 3 pioneer campsites here, which is awesome because the pioneer campsites are good. You can camp with a group of people, but what I did is there's 6 backcountry campsites. $10 a person, you hike in, you camp, and then you hike out the next day. So we're at the bottom of the canyon, and this is from what I gather, this is the ocean bottom, because the ocean was here, and then after the ocean settled back to where it is now, they had the orange clay that you see on top. And then when they were farming, there were some cracks in there. The water erosion washed through that orange clay to the sand, and it took less than 200 years to form these canyons. So right up the road, there's a place called Florence Marina State Park on Lake Walter, George. They have campsites, cottages, and efficiencies if you don't feel like going in and hiking in and camping in the night. No electric, no water, but I enjoyed it, hiked in, camped out. Basically, this is a big sand castle. You walk up to these walls and you can scratch right into them with your finger because it is just sand like that's at the beach. The trees that you see everywhere is what holds this canyon together. Alright, after spending a couple hours down here, you could spend a lot more time, but we were going up to meet with one of the rangers, and this is Ranger Julie Shutters that we met up here, and I got to give Ranger Julie Shutters a big round of applause because without her help I wouldn't have been able to do any of this. So this is Ranger Shutters. She's the one that gave me permission to fly the drone. She's taking us over to the church. It's the Providence Canyon Methodist Baptist Church This church was at where one of the canyons were, and it was going to slide down to the canyon, so they moved it over here. The original church was built in 1832. The current building that you see now was built in 1859. And what I thought was really cool is the people that built this church are all buried in the graveyard outside. The tombstones in here date back to the 1700s, and there's a few Civil War heroes. The church itself is still in use on Sundays. So, hey, I gotta go. We don't have much time. If you get a chance, come down and check this place out. There's an old homestead back here. They didn't have a chance to move it because the canyons were opening so fast, so they left a bunch of vehicles here, and the trees just grew through them. It's a really great place to visit. Like I said, you can make it here on a weekend trip, spend a day, and then make it back home if you live in Florida. And if you're on your way to the tail of the dragon, it's right in the middle, halfway between Daytona Beach and Deals Gap. So join us next time. Come back and take a ride with Mark Hall, riding and flying on Cycle Fever TV.
Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Yeah, and times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you, the door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today, learn the part and join the play. The world is here, let's take it for a ride. You could be larger than